Getting your little one to fall asleep can be quite a challenging thing to do. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, they just don't seem to want to settle. The good news is, quite often we can figure out a pretty quick and easy solution, and it lies in the amount of time that your little one is spending awake between their naps. Sometimes though, it can be quite tricky to figure out, okay, well, how much awake time does my little one need? There are a few signs that you can look out for that will help to give you little hints. And today I'm going to be answering your question, how do I know when my baby's awake time needs adjusting? Hi, I'm Taylor, one of the paediatric sleep consultants here at Little Ones and mother to one hilarious little girl. At Little Ones, we specialise in paediatric sleep ranging from newborn to 3 years of age. We do this via our app, which gives you access to our program along with our nutrition information provided by our accredited practicing dietitian. We also have further tips and advice relating to preschool age children and care for yourself, which is also quite important. If you'd like any further information relating to our program and how we can help you and your little one on your journey to achieve the best sleep, you can visit our website at www.little-ones.co. So in this video, I'm going to be looking at the importance of knowing your little one's awake windows, signs to look for if their awake windows need tweaking, and then also how to adjust your little one's awake windows by making them longer if that's what we need to do. So let's look at the importance of your little one's awake times during the day. If they're having too long or not long enough of awake times during their daytime period, they're likely going to experience disrupted night sleep, or their naps in general during the day aren't going to be great. One of the more common things that you find, particularly with younger little ones, is that often people give them too much sleep during the day because we just don't realize that they can actually handle a lot more of an awake window than we would expect. This was something that I experienced with my little one, and it's actually why we started the program at 10 weeks of age. My little one was a serial cat napper where she would only ever sleep for 20 minutes at a time. I could set my watch by it. I'd literally put her down for her nap and I'd know, awesome, I've got 20 minutes to either enjoy a cup of tea, try to do some housework, or try to feel like I'm in control of something. It wasn't feasible. Soon after starting the program, I realized that I was putting her down way too early for her naps. And once I was able to slowly adjust her awake windows to be even longer, her naps then started to get longer. The reverse of this though is putting your little one down to sleep well beyond their awake window. If they're overtired, that can also cause catnapping. But for the most part, I would expect really little ones. I'd expect that most people probably wouldn't be keeping their little ones awake for way too long, because at that age, they're just gonna be like, had enough, I'm going to sleep now. So for older little ones though, sometimes it can be a little bit more tricky to figure out, okay, is this undertiredness or overtiredness? And that's where we sort of look at all the signs as a whole. So some of the signs that you would actually be looking for in a little one, so a little one that's, you know, before 4 months of age or something, their awake windows are going to be changing quite rapidly within a short period of time. So some of the things that you might find with these little ones is that they'll either be waking not quite at the end of their nap that we would expect them to do. They're cutting it a little bit short. They might be experiencing what's called the witching hour right before bed, where they just won't seem to fall asleep. They might be waking more frequently overnight, or they might be waking early in the morning. These can be attributed to both overtiredness and undertiredness. So that's where it's really important to make sure that we're working to the optimum awake window for their age. Our program has every age covered for your little one, and we've also got some pretty great sleep consultants that can give you a hand to adjust your little one's awake times to find what's best suited to them. I will also just make a little point here of saying that every single baby is different, and we completely understand this. Our programs have been scientifically created based on an average. To make an average, we need to have either end. What's fun though is that it's not actually uncommon for babies within the same family to even have different awake windows and sleep requirements. So that's why it's important to look at this as my baby is an individual and their sleep needs are based on this individual. So we need to figure out their individual, are they a high sleep needs baby or are they a low sleep needs baby? And we can help you to sort that out too. For an older baby, their signs that their awake windows need adjusting are quite similar. You might find that once they're down to a really short nap in the morning and their long restorative lunch nap and then another short nap in the afternoon, you might find that their long nap during the middle of the day, it starts to reduce ever so slightly. They might be only making it to like an hour and a half or just over. That's a sign that they could probably have their awake time tweaked prior to that nap. This in turn though can also be an indication that their morning nap time and length might need adjusting, but in doing so, this will also inadvertently affect their awake time between the two naps anyway. So we're making that adjustment regardless. Older little ones as well, as they're hitting that 6 to 8 month age, that's when you start to see a nap transition occurring. And at this stage, yes, their awake windows will be tweaked ever so slightly there, but we preempt that by making sure that we're not pushing their awake window out massively and then making them super overtired for this adjustment. We do it gradually so as to not throw out their body clock too much as well. So overall, a lot of the signs that your little one's awake time needs adjusting are pretty standard, pretty similar across all ages. There are certain things that you need to take into consideration as well when you are looking at this, and that's room environment, their hunger. Sometimes developmental leaps can also affect their napping ability, and all of these things can also be checked and assessed by our sleep consultants within the village too, plus within our program as well. We've got all of the sleep and awake times suitable for each age group, so you can figure it out from there. Okay, do we need to just do a little bit of tweaking here or there? If you do need to increase your little one's wake period, much like what I had to do with my little one because they're not having enough awake time between their naps, this is something that you need to do really gradually and really subtly so as to not shock their body clock. In the end, we want it to be that we've subtly made the adjustment that much that when they are actually at the correct awake time, their body clock is like, I'll allow it, this is okay. So when you are increasing their awake window, you need to look at how long are you currently keeping them awake for. Say for example, it's an hour and a half and we need to try to push them to an hour and 50 minutes between naps. You would, on say the first day, put them down at an hour and 35 minutes of awake time, and then 1 or 2 days later, you'll aim for an hour and 40 minutes of awake time, and then 1 or 2 days later, an hour and 45, 1 or 2 days later, boom, you're at 150. That being said, if you are having to adjust your little one's awake times and they're still relatively young, you might find that in about a week's time or whatever, the awake period is actually going to be increased again. But the good news is that in our sleep program, we give you plenty of warning. You can read ahead to know, okay, by this age, we're going to be sleeping for X amount of time and their awake windows are going to be X. I hope this video has helped you to figure out if your baby's awake windows need adjusting and how to do so if they do. As I said, you can check out our program and we've got all ages covered right up until the age of 3, and we've got support available for you up until the age of 6 as well. So you can check that out, see if there's something in there that can help you. And as always, the consultants are here 24/7 to give you a hand further. If you liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and check the notification bell as well so that you're updated whenever we release new content. I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.